Hello friends, welcome to Nirmith Academy. In this video, we are going to learn 100 important questions from CDP. Let's go through. First one, with the development of technology, the role of teacher in future will be options. A. To use the internet in teaching. B. To provide information. C. To development new textbooks. D. To guide students. The right option D. To guide students. Next one of the following is suggested by NCF 2005 with regard to learning. Options A. Students should be passive to acquire the knowledge from the teacher. B. Learning should take place within the classroom only. C. Learning should be in the wider social context. D. Learning should be teacher's directive. The right option learning should be in the wider social context. Next one, who is regarded as the first teacher of his child? Options A. Mother. B. Headmaster. C. Class teacher. D. Tutor. The right option A. Mother. Next one. In the introduction part of a lesson plan, a teacher aims to get students options A. Assignments. B. Attention. C. Aptitude. D. Abilities. The right option B. Attention. Next one. The physical factors that affects the development of an individual. Options A. Temperature. B. Food. C. Hormones. D. Light. The right option C. Hormones. Next one, as per the social constructivistic theory of learning, the role of the teacher in the classroom is an options A. Instructor. B. Facilitator. C. Spectator. D. Demonstrator. The right option B. Facilitator. Next one, the term PSRN is development implies options A. Problem solving, relationship and numeracy. B. Problem solving, reasoning and numeracy. C. Perceptual skills, relationship and numeracy. D. Perceptual skills, reasoning and numeracy. The right option D. Perception skills, reasoning and numeracy. Next one, as per the Havighurst development tasks are options A. Medical norms. B. Social expectation. C. Learning interests. D. Educational milestones. The right option C. Learning interests. Next one, a student of V grade with visual deficiency should be options A. Treated normally in the classroom and provided the support through audio CDs. B. Given special treatment in the classroom. C. Helped with his or her routine work by parents and friends. D. Excused to do a lower level of work. The right option A. Treated normally in the classroom and provided support through audio CDs. Next one, which of the following should be considered the most important quality of a teacher at primary level? Options A. Competence in methods of teaching and knowledge of subjects. B. Competence to teach in highly standardized language. C. Eagerness to teach. D. Patience and perseverance. Next one, a teacher should make an attempt to understand the potentialities of his or her students. Which of the following fields is related to this objective? Options A. Educational sociology. B. Social physiology. C. Educational psychology. D. Media psychology. The right option C. Educational psychology. Next one, the best method to study growth and development of child is options A. Psychoanalytic method. B. Statistical method. C. Developmental method. D. Comparative method. The right option C. Developmental method. Next one, giving punishment verbal or non-verbal to the children results in options A. Protecting the child's image. B. Motivating them to work. C. Improving their scores. D. Damaging their self-concept. The right option D. Damaging their self-concept. Next one, the perception inclination of a person towards specific things is known as options A. Opinion. B. Attention. C. Vigilance. D. Attitude. Right option D. Attitude. Next one, pedagogy is the study of options A. Teaching methods. B. Education. C. Writing methods. D. Guiding methods. Right option A. Teaching methods. Next one, which one of the following is a factor that affects learning positively? Options A. Pressure from parents. B. Meaningful association. C. Competition with peers. D. Fear of failure. Right option B. Meaningful association. Next one, special education is related to options A. Training programs for teachers. B. Educational programs for disabled. C. Education for talented students. D. Training program for retarded. Right option B. Educational programs for disabled. Next one, freedom of expression is options A. A child right. B. Right of all school going children only. C. Not a child right. D. A right of mentally healthy children only. The right option A. A child right. Next one, learning disabilities may occur due to all of the following except options A. Emotional disturbance. B. Cerebral dysfunction. C. Behavioral disturbance. D. Cultural factors. Right option D. Cultural factors. Next one. How a teacher should behave with the students. Options A. Father-like, B. Elder-like, C. Friend-like, D. General. The right option C. Friend-like. Next one. A child writes with his or her left hand and is comfortable doing things with it. He or she should be. Options A. Discouraged, B. Allow his preference, C. Allow to write with his left hand, D. Suggest for medical help. Right option B. Allow his preference. Next one. Education of children with special needs should be provided. Options A. By special teachers in special schools, B. In special schools, C. By special method developed for special children in special schools, D. Along with other normal children. Right option D. Along with other normal children. Next one. Which of the following is not a sign of being gifted? Options A. Poor relationship with peers, B. Interest in extra reading, C. Curiosity, D. Creativity. The right option A. Poor relationship with peers. Next one. As people grow older, the dash of learning declines. Options A. Quantity, B. Power, C. Quality, D. Speed. The right option D. Speed. Next one. According to Kohlberg, at which level in morality externally controlled? Options A. Pre-conventional level, B. Conventional level, C. Post-conventional level, D. None of the above. Right option A. Pre-conventional level. Next one. The teaching strategy that does not involve democratic style. Options A. Tutorial strategy, B. Brainstorming strategy, C. Group discussion strategy, D. Project strategy. Right option D. Project strategy. Next one. What is the capacity to acquire and apply knowledge? Options A. Aptitude, B. Personality, C. Intelligence, D. Attitude. Right option C. Intelligence. Next one. When a child fails, it means. Options. The child has not memorized the answers properly, B. The child is not fit for studies, C. The system has failed, D. The child should have taken private tuition. Right option C. The system has failed. Next one. Which of the following is the first stage of Kohlberg's 6 stages of moral development? Options A. Maintaining the social order, B. Good interpersonal relationships, C. Social contract and individual rights, D. Obedience and punishment. The right option D. Obedience and punishment. Next one. The best method of teaching is to. Options A. Ask students to read books, B. Impart information, C. Initiate a discussion and participate in it, D. Suggest good reference material. Right option C. Initiate a discussion and participate in it. Next one. Which one of the following is the best method of teaching? Options A. Question and answer method, B. Discussion method, C. Lecture method, D. Demonstration method. Right option D. Demonstration method. Next one. Parents should play a dash role in the learning process of a young child. Options A. Negative, B. Sympathetic, C. Neutral, D. Proactive. Right option D. Proactive. Next one. In dash stage of development, child appears self-centered. Options A. Adulthood, B. Infancy, C. Early childhood, D. Adolescence. Right option B. Infancy. Next one. If the students are not taking interest in our teaching, then you will. Options A. Leave the class, B. Ignore them, C. Review the teaching method, D. Ask them to pay attention. The right option C. Review the teaching method. Next one. Self-regulation of learners refers to. Options A. Self-discipline and control, B. Creating regulations for student behavior, C. Rules and regulations made by student body, D. Their ability to monitor their own learning. Right option D. Their ability to monitor their own learning. Next one. Heredity is considered as a dash social structure. Options A. Primary, B. Static, C. Dynamic, D. Secondary. The right option B. Static. Next one. One of the following quality is not expected of a good teacher. Options A. Communicating freely with students, B. Acquiring knowledge about students' background, C. Sharing warm enthusiasm and caring, D. Teaching without using any audio visual aids. The right option D. Teaching without using any audio visual aids. Next one. In the context of education, socialization means. Options A. Always following social norms, B. Respecting elders in society, C. Adjusting and adapting to social environment, D. None of these. Right option C. Adjusting and adapting to social environment. Next one, intelligence tests are used in our schools and colleges are options: A. Arithmetic test, B. Mental ability test, C. Scholastic aptitude test, D. All of the above. The right option C. Scholastic aptitude test. Next one, on the first day of his class, if a teacher is asked by the students to introduce himself, he or she should be options: ignore the demand and start teaching, B. Ask them to meet after the class, C. Tell them about him in brief, D. Scold the student for his unwanted demand. The right option C. Tell them about him in brief. Next one, what quality the students like the most in a teacher? Options: A. Discipline, B. Idealistic philosophy, C. Compassion, D. Entertaining. The right option C. Compassion. Next one, the most primitive sentiment expressed by the child in the early childhood is options: A is love for his toys, B is love for his parents, C is love for his own self, D all of the above. The right option C is love for his own self. Next one, lip reading is a technique used to teach children with this disability. Options: A cerebral palsy, B. Hearing impairment, C. Visual impairment, D. Learning disability. Right option B. Hearing impairment. Next one, a teacher asks the questions in the class to options: A. Attract students' attention, B. Keep students busy, C. Maintain discipline, D. Teach. Right option A. Attracts students' attention. Next one, teaching performed by a group of teachers is options: A. Written teaching, B. Oral teaching, C. Teachers teaching, D. Team teaching. Right option D. Team teaching. Next one, according to Kohlberg, a teacher can instill moral values in children by options: A. Laying clear rules of behavior, B. Giving strict instructions on how to behave, C. Involving them in discussions on moral issues, D. Giving importance to religious teachings. The right option C. Involving them in discussions on moral issues. Next one, which one of the following is the most critical factor for a differently abled children? Options: A. Enhancing his or her skills, B. Reducing his or her sufferings, C. Improving his or her grades, D. Controlling his or her behavior. The right option A. Enhancing his or her skills. Next one, which of the following is not a level of teaching learning? Options: A. Differentiation level, B. Memory level, C. Understanding level, D. Reflective level. Right option A. Differentiation level. Next one, which of the following is a sensitive period pertaining to language development? Options: A. Early childhood period, B. Parental period, C. Adulthood, D. Middle childhood period. Right option A. Early childhood period. Next one of the following is not correct with regard to teaching. Options: interesting, B. Enforcing, C. Directional, D. Motivational. The right option B. Enforcing. Next one, the use of technology to enhance learning process is called dash in education. Options: A. Communication technology, B. IT, C. ICT, D. Information technology. The right option C. ICT, Information and Communication Technology. Next one, several factors influence forgetting. One of these is options: rate of original learning, B. Nature of reinforcement, C. Trace aggregates, D. Measures of retention. The right option A. Rate of original learning. Next one, an individual's personality is the result of his or her. Options: A. Social setup, B. Genetic endowment and environmental exposure, C. Genetic endowment, D. Child rearing practice. Right option B. Genetic endowment and environmental exposure. Next one, research suggests that in a diverse classroom, a teacher's expectations from her students dash their learning. Options: A. Do not have any effect on, B. Have a significant impact on, C. Are the solo determinant of, D. Should not be correlated with. The right option have a significant impact on. Next one, learning is modification of dash thoughts and experience. Options: A. Motivation, B. Emotions, C. Psychological drives, D. Behavior. The right option D. Behavior. Next one, questioning in the classroom. Options: A. Develops inactivity, B. Clarifies the subject matters, C. Creates indiscipline, D. Is a wastage of time. The right option B. Clarifies the subject matters. Next one, creation of a learning environment for a class in the school is the responsibility of. Options: A. Teacher, B. Local authority, C. Student leader, D. Mandal educational officer. Right option A. Teacher. Next one. What should a teacher tell her students to encourage them to do tasks with intrinsic motivation? Options A. Try to do it, you will learn. B. Complete the task fast and get a toffee. C. Why can't you be like him? C. He has done it perfectly. D. Come on, finish it before she does. Right option A. Try to do it, you will learn. Next one. Motivation explains. Options A. Aggressive behavior. B. Child behavior. C. Why of behavior. D. Social behavior. Right option C. Why of behavior. Next one. Which one of the following types of evaluation assesses the learning progress to provide continuous feedback to both teachers and students during instruction? Options A. Diagnostic evaluation. B. Placement evaluation. C. Formative evaluation. D. Summative evaluation. The right option C. Formative evaluation. Next one. To cater to individual differences in his classroom, a teacher should. Options A. Engage in a dialogue with students and value their perspectives. B. Have uniform and standard way of teaching and assessment. C. Impose strict rules upon his students. D. Segregate and label children based on their marks. The right option A. Engage a dialogue with students and value their perspectives. Next one. Heterogeneity of the classroom shall be viewed by the teacher as a. Options A. Source of learning. B. Need for segregation of students for classroom transition. C. Burden for teacher. D. Hurdle for students adjustment. Right option source for learning. Next one. To be an effective teacher, it is important to. Options A. Be in touch with each and every child. B. Avoid disruption caused due to questioning by students. C. Emphasize dedicating answers from the book. D. Focus on individual learning rather than group activity. Right option A. Be in touch with each and every child. Next one. The best way for providing value education is through. Options A. Mentoring or reflective sessions on values. B. Seminars or symposia on values. C. Discussion on spiritual text. D. Lectures or discourse on values. Right answer A. Mentoring or reflective sessions on values. Next one. If all the high school are provided with sophisticated education technology. Options A. Teachers can be replaced totally. B. One teacher can handle all classes. C. Provision of one teacher for one class is sufficient. D. Teachers cannot be replaced. Right option D. Teachers cannot be replaced. Next one. As to learn is related to motivational aspects of learning. Options A. Intent. B. Dignity. C. Insight. D. Psychic power. Right option C. Insight. Next one. In a progressive classroom setup, the teacher facilitates learning by providing an environment that. Options A. Is restrictive. B. Promotes discovery. C. Encourages repetition. D. Discourages inclusion. Right option B. Promotes discovery. Next one. The plateau in the learning curve indicates. Options A. Learning is completed. B. Learning began. C. Increased speed in learning. D. Temporary arrest in learning. Right option temporary arrest in learning. Next one. As per the Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act 2009, the child has the right to get free education if his age is between. Options A. 3 to 12 years. B. 4 to 13 years. C. 5 to 14 years. D. 6 to 14 years. The right option D. 6 to 14 years. Next one. Controlling one's emotions, impulse according to the changing situations is known as. Options A. Self-actualization. B. Self-motivation. C. Self-awareness. D. Self-regulation. Right option D. Self-regulation. Next one. Which agent of socialization has the most impact on our development? Options A. Peers group. B. Education. C. Family. D. Mass media. Right option C. Family. Next one. Who is the father of theory of multiple intelligence? Options A. Piaget. B. Brunner. C. Vygotsky. D. Gardner. Right option D. Gardner. Next one. Which of the following factors is not related to motivation? Options A. Interest. B. Objectives of life. C. Mental health. D. Physical fitness. Right option D. Physical fitness. Next one. Which one of the following is best suited for emotional development of children? Options A. Authorization classroom environment. B. Democratic classroom environment. C. No involvement of teachers as it is the task of the parents. D. Controlled classroom environment. Right option B. Democratic classroom environment. Next one. The duties of a teacher is. Options A. Assess the learning ability of each child. B. Maintain regularity and punctuality in attending school. C. Conduct and complete the curriculum in time. D. All of the above. Right option D. All of the above. Next one. Children actively construct their understanding of the world is a statement attributed to options A. Kohlberg, B. Pavlov, C. Skinner, D. Piaget. The right option D. Piaget. Next one. Which indicates the change in the quality or character of a child? Options A. Environment, B. Growth, C. Learning, D. Development. The right option D. Development. Next one. Dash is the capacity to acquire and apply knowledge. Options A. Aptitude, B. Intelligence, C. Attitude, D. Personality. The right option D. Intelligence. Next one. Teaching and learning process fundamentally completed in options A. Society, B. Classroom, C. School, D. Home. Right option B. Classroom. Next one. The best place of social development for a 12 years old child is options A. School, B. Playground, C. Family, D. Neighborhood. Right option B. Playground. Next one. Expand DAT. Options A. Differential ability test, B. Differential attitude test, C. Differential achievement test, D. Differential aptitude test. Right option D. Differential aptitude test. Next one. As per NCF 2005, the teacher should use options A. Textbook developed in local language only, B. A single textbook for a subject published by state government only, C. Single textbook for a subject, D. Multiple textbooks for a subject. Right option D. Multiple textbooks for a subject. Next one. The most effective method to teach the concept of germination of seeds is options to make the students plant seeds and observe stages of germination, B. To give detailed explanation, C. To show pictures of seed growth, D. To draw pictures on blackboard and give descriptions. Right option A. To make students plant seeds and observe stages of germination. Next one. Smallest unit of meaning in a language is A. Morme, B. Syntax, C. Pony, D. Pragmatics. Right option A. Morme. Next one. Full form of RTE Act is options A. Right to Compulsory Education Act, B. Right to Free Education Act, C. Right of Children to Free Education and Compulsory Education Act, D. Right to Free and Compulsory Education Act. Right option C. Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act. Next one. The most important quality of an effective teacher is options A. A strict disciplinarian, B. Good rapport with the students, C. Deep knowledge about the subject taught, D. A good motivator. The right option D. A good motivator. Next one. IQ scores are generally dash correlated with academic performance. Options least, B. Highly, C. Moderately, D. Perfectly. The right option B. Highly. Next one. By which of the following methods the true evaluation of the students is possible? Options A. Evaluation at the end of the course, B. Formative evaluation, C. Evaluation twice in a year, D. Continuous evaluation. The right option D. Continuation evaluation. Next one. Motivation technique can work only up to options A. Highest level of cognitive domain, B. Comprehension level of objectives, C. Application level of cognitive objectives, D. None of the above. Right option A. Highest level of cognitive domain. Next one. School-based assessment is primarily based on the principle that options A. Schools are more effective than external bodies of examination, B. Assessment should be very economically, C. Teachers know their learners' capabilities better than external examiners, D. Students should at all costs get high grades. The right option C. Teachers knows their learners' capabilities better than external examiners. Next one. Language of word is not necessary for options A. Associative thinking, B. Imaginative thinking, C. Conceptual thinking, D. Perceptual thinking. Right option B. Imaginative thinking. Next one. When a child gets bored while doing a task, it is a sign that options the child is not capable of learning, B. The child needs to be disciplined, C. The child is not intelligent, D. The task may have become mechanically repetitive. The right option D. The task may have become mechanically repetitive. Next one. The cardinal principles of learner-centered education are options A. Learning by living, B. Learning by doing, C. Both, D. None of this. Right option C. Both. Learning by living, learning by doing. Next one. Which of the following is not a product of learning? Options A. Physical structure, B. Knowledge, C. Skill, D. Maturation. Right option D. Maturation. Next one, according to Jean Piaget, which of the following is necessary for learning? Options: observing the behavior of adults, B. active exploration of the environment by the learner, C. reinforcement by teachers and parents, D. believe in human justice. The right option B. active exploration of the environment by the learner. Next one, giftedness from teacher's point of view is a combination of options: A. high ability, high creativity, high commitment, B. high ability, high talent, high commitment, C. high motivation, high commitment, high talent, D. high talent, high creativity, high memory. Right option A. high ability, high creativity, high commitment. Next one, a school gives preference to girls while preparing students for a state level solo song competition. This reflects options: A. pragmatic approach, B. progressive thinking, C. global trends, D. gender bias. The right option D. gender bias. Next one, which of the following is a feature of progressive education? Options: instruction based solely on prescribed textbooks, B. flexible timetable and seating arrangement, C. emphasis on scoring good marks in examinations, D. frequent tests and examinations. The right option B. flexible timetable and seating arrangement. Next one, which from the following should be used to decrease minor inappropriate behavior? Options: A. reward, B. ignorance, C. strictness, D. praise. The right option B. ignorance. Next one, achievement motive in a child can be developed by options: A. setting a realistic goal for the child, B. proper guidance and high expectation from the child, C. telling the stories of a great men to the child, D. all of this. The right option telling the stories of great men to the child. Thank you friends. Let's meet in another video. Please like, share and subscribe. Thanks for all your support.